Hello, SolarLune here. How's everybody doing today? Actually, before I do continue, let me make sure I have my... Yeah, okay. Let me move this over there. There we go. Okay, better. All right. Hello. How's everyone doing today? Good, good, good. Excellent. If you are unaware of who I am SolarLune, an independent game developer working on a video game by the name of I Know Who I Am in Godot, and also a project planning tool called MasterPlan in Go. Both are going rather well, and I'll probably be working on I Know Who I Am today, mainly, I believe, and then possibly maybe something else. So, hello and good morning to everyone out there. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Lachi says something about my Discord server. I thought I enabled something that... well, I have a Discord server, so if anyone's interested in game development, I have a server where we just talk about game development as well as show the things that we're working on. There we go. Okay, that should be fixed. Okay. All right. Cool. So what we're going to do today, firstly, I'm going to get some music playing. It's always good to have some music going. Maybe we'll do something a little bit different today. Well, I want to have some different music at some point, so maybe in the future I'll look at different songs I can play from different artists, not just for myself. Because, you know, I want to avoid copyright notices or anything like that. So it's easy to just say, like, oh, you know, I'll just play the music I make. But there's other music out there from artists that I really like. So I'd like to play their tunes as well someday. So I'll have to investigate that a little bit later. In the meantime, what we'll do, we'll just play something... perhaps a little bit low-key. There we go. Okay, it should be audible. And hopefully not too loud. Cool. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to... yeah, look at the project. So this is a 2D adventure game. You run around as an alien attempting to learn about humans. The current task is to basically get to the MVP, the minimum viable product of the game, which means that we want to implement a save menu, a load menu, a quit menu, options, and then basically make it so you can actually finish the game. And so I was working on that a lot yesterday, but I ended up finishing a pretty good amount of it off screen. What we'll do, because actually, well, let's do it like this. Hold on. Well, actually, yeah. Let me show what I've done, because it involves sound. So let me go over here and turn this music off real quick. We'll go back to that. That's actually a nice chill track, so I'll go back to that. Alright, so this is the game. You can control the main character. You can go to the options menu. Now there's buttons you can press. You can turn the sound or volume or music volume low, like so, which is nice. You can save the game, where it just says basically like, oh, I saved the game in some sort of like in-universe fashion. You can also load the game, like so. And you can also quit the game, where it says basically, should I leave off today? Yes, that's enough. I will have to pick up tomorrow. XX signing out. And then the game quits. Nice, cool. Lachi says, any progress on slider thickness? Yes. I don't know if it should have been visible there in the game just a couple seconds ago, but before yesterday I was struggling with the slider thickness, and I figured out basically how to properly make it a little bit better. It's weird. It's it's weird. It's weird. I'll show a little bit about it. So basically, it's a panel that I have that represents the options display. But more specifically, the sliders have to have a grabber area and a slider area. Let me make sure I commit this before I make any changes. Lots of changes. Shoot, I have to I'm not gonna write down everything. I'll just say adding lock, unlock, set behavior, set label, save game, load game, quit game, events, functions. Shoot, yeah, I have to commit all these. I should actually. Okay, I'm gonna be a good developer and like actually do things correctly and not just fudge things around. So I'll commit this in a couple seconds and take some time to properly commit everything. So basically, what I found out with the slider system is if you don't have a slider style assigned, man, I don't want to. I don't want to like. I'm gonna do this. Hold on. Because I don't want to like lose. I have to commit this. Let me commit this, and then I'll come back and explain what I found about the slider. I did fix it. It does work as I would like. I just don't want to like show you how things work and then like have to take a whole bunch of time to fix it later. So I'll show you how the slider system, what I found out about the slider system in a couple of seconds. But first, let me just commit all of the changes that I made, which is quite a few. So it's always important when you're doing version control to always make sure that you go ahead and commit things with nice descriptive messages. What I'm doing also with this project is I'm planning to open source it, not necessarily the assets, but rather the core of the game that allows you to make a game like this. So if you want to make an adventure game, kind of like this, where you control a character and interact with things and have an inventory, you can kind of use this as a base, like a adventure game engine in a sense, made with Godot. And so it'll be open source. Ideally, yeah, it'll be open source, and ideally it would be in such a way where basically you could play the game. Pardon me. Play the game in such a way where, or have the code in such a way where if you buy the game and you go to the online open source repository, you could basically put them together to get the original product. But the open source repository doesn't have the whole game in it. So it's like, it's just for basically making games like this. It's not supposed to be made for, used to like, it's not supposed to be the entire game. Unless you buy it, then you should be able to kind of mix it up, I guess. I don't know. I have to figure that out. In any case, I'm planning to open source the code to basically make games like this. And the reason I brought that up is because I have this documentation that basically says like, oh, what does each function do? Like, what is it called? How does it work? What arguments can you use? And all that stuff. And so that's why it's important for me specifically when it comes to documenting all of this. It's rather important because I'm planning to open source it. That's kind of why I brought that up. Anyway, whatever. Oh, I see. There we go. Let me check something real quick. I want to make sure this is working as it should here. So if I go to load, it does like... Okay, even if it's the same scene. Okay, good. Excellent. Okay, cool. All right, cool, cool, cool. Guess this is fine. That's fine. All right, so I'm not gonna like iterate everything. I'm just gonna basically talk a little bit, or rather, go over things generally. Adding new PCs, adding apartment maps, and options display. Ooh, oh yeah, I forgot about this. Oops. Yeah, it's true. Okay. Panel. Okay. Did I make them rigid bodies? Rigid body, yeah. Excellent, excellent. Let me actually turn the music back on since I'm going to be typing. Whoops. Since I'm going to be, yeah, sitting here typing for a while. There we go. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay, player moves using linear velocity, excellent. Music shut off because I forgot to loop it. There we go. Persistence. Okay, this should cover mostly everything. Oops. Okay, cool. We're gonna call that done. Excellent. All right, now that we actually have basically everything done and committed, I'm gonna go back and actually show you what I learned. So let's, I don't actually need this open right now. Let's go over here to Godot. There we go, excellent. Okay, so when it comes to the sliders, basically if you don't have a slider style in the H slider section of your theme, well, let's, I guess if we just kind of start from scratch. Like you can assign an icon that basically controls what the grabber looks like, the little pin that you drag back and forth. But if you want it to look nice or just different from how it normally looks, then you'll want to give it a theme. So that's where the grabber area comes in. Or I'm sorry, not the theme, not a theme, but rather a style. So for this, I used a flat style box, and let's say I think it was white, but it'll draw really big, and in order to make it smaller, you have to use a slider, which is another style. And when you do that, you want to give make a border, as I recall. Yeah. And then when you have a border, it just basically controls how big the area you can click on is. So you might want to have it like this, or you might want to have it be basically the same size as your slider. You can make corners with the corner radius if you want it to be a little bit more rounded. and do the same thing for the grabber area as well. Like that, there we go. And so the grabber area controls basically the area to the left of the grabber, while the slider style controls the area behind it. So if I change this to red, for example, the border also has a color. We don't, well, yeah, you can choose to have the border be, let's say, the same color. There we go. And so you can see it basically, there's two different sections here. One is the grabber area with its border, as well as the slider area. So it's kind of weird because it's like you're controlling two different areas, two different sections. But once you get it up and running, it doesn't look too bad. It looks actually turned out pretty well. Oh, because I made changes to the theme. So this is why I wanted to go ahead and commit that stuff, because now that's weird. I changed this stuff, but it doesn't show up as in source control. Is it because did I not commit the theme? No, wait, what? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, okay, here's GUI, yeah. Right, okay, so it did actually save this stuff. Okay. Okay, now it remembers. That's weird. Okay. Let's discard these changes again. I think it might be like caching the scene or something. Okay, now it's working correctly, kind of. I don't remember this being white in the background. Let's fix that. Okay. Yeah, this was red. I don't know why it didn't save the color. That's weird. Okay, all right. Cool. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why. It's strange. Okay, well, I guess it's not a huge deal. I just don't know why it changed. Nah, I'm gonna discard all of this and restart Godot, because this is weird. It shouldn't do any, it shouldn't write anything that hasn't already, Lachi says, scene probably had the file cached as you said. Maybe? I don't know. Does it do that? It shouldn't. Let's see. Shouldn't be doing that. GUI. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't know why it was saving like information like when I discarded stuff. That's weird. Weird. Okay. There we go. Cool. Lachi says, how would it tell if the file changed? It might be more performant to just look it up once if it assumes no one will edit it directly. Well, I mean, because I don't really have any problem with how it does what it does. If it's caching the file, that's fine. It's just, if you make any changes and then discard them, it should discard the cache, essentially. It seems like it was holding the cache even though I like made changes to this file and then said, no, I don't want to save this. And I go back and open the file and it's like, there's still changes. It's like, what? How could it can't do both. Like if I go in here and change the theme, the color of the sliders, and then close out of GUI and don't save, close out of this scene and don't save, and then reopen it, the colors should not be the same. The color should be the original color that I started with. I don't know why it's doing that. That might be, I guess it's just a bug. It's not supposed to work that way, and it is. I guess let me try it one more time just to kind of make sure I understand the situation, and if it happens again, if I can reproduce it. Okay, and then I say no, I don't like that. Yeah, okay, so that's just a bug. And if I play with it, does it actually? Yeah, it does. Okay. So that's just a bug. That just needs to be fixed. Right now I'm looking on the... Let's see. Right now I'm just looking on the... repository to see if there's basically any information about this before I report it. I just need to write this down somewhere. Let me just get a text editor. Godot slider. Godot caching. Whoops, caching slider color even after closing scene. Okay. No, that's fine. Lachi says, at least with Godot has a nice open source community. That's true. That's true. I think it's kind of it's a little bit unfortunate though, because like either let me describe that. It's a little bit unfortunate because either it's a paid community, for a paid software where you might make a report or complain about something, or say that there's an issue or something, and they might say like, oh, okay, we acknowledge it, and like never get around to fixing it. Or it might be open source where they never get around to fixing it, and it's just because the guy who can do it won't do it, and it's just like either way, like it might not get fixed. It's like it's an open source community, so you might just be told like, hey, you could do it. It's like, oh, yeah, that's true. But I'm trying to make a game. Like, I'm not trying to make editing software. I'm trying to make a game. Oh, all right. Well, anyway, that's true. It does have a nice open source community. So that's good. That's good. Okay. So issue noted at least. Cool. I'm gonna mute this. Cool. Lachi says the amount of breaking bugs Unity has is crazy. Oh, really? I'm not aware of Unity. I don't use it. Never have used it. Literally a time when either parenthesis in a file name would crash the console. Wow, that's a surprisingly reproducible, knowable bug. Okay, so for today, what we're gonna do... It was a big brain moment for Unity. Okay, let's see. There's something I wanted to do. Okay, we have this. Oh, right. So I wanted to rewrite this text a little bit to be a little bit more like, do you want to save? Do you want to load? Do you want to quit? I prompt the player for quitting, but I don't prompt him for saving or loading. So, choice, should I upload my progress to the world phase records so far? Okay. Choice. Timeline and reload the last saved status state. There we go. Okay, that should basically be it. Machi says, can you call arbitrary functions in your dialog system, or do they need to be registered first? The dialog system, it's kind of a holdover from how I was doing this in Go, where you have to register functions and things first. In Godot, I know you can actually like run functions by name, and I think I partially work with that, but it's not quite like working as it could. Like there's a set var function, I guess you could say, that I defined that basically sets a variable on the target node of whatever name to whatever value you indicate, like so. But I don't have anything to like run an arbitrary function, although that would be useful. That would be very useful, because then you could just do something like something like that, like run jump, and it would run the jump function on the object that you're targeting. So that would be cool. That would be interesting. So I might do that. But currently, I'm not using a very object-oriented approach to things, because you're only basically dealing with the player and NPCs. Anything you can pick up is an NPC. Anything you interact with is an NPC. Even the save prompts, like these buttons. Those buttons on the option screen where you could save, load, or quit, those are also NPCs. Because I started making like a custom like system for that, and then I was like, wait a second, if I just use the existing NPC system, I don't have to remake anything. I can just like make it work. So like when you click on save, the save button, save game, it basically runs this save prompt choice function, which basically displays this message: should I upload my progress so far to the world phase repository for this instance? And then it gives you the options yes, post haste, and if you click on that, it jumps to save yes, and otherwise no, wait a moment, and it jumps to save no down here. And so it should work pretty much as I expect it to. Should. It's too much text. Should I upload my progress so far to the world-face repository for this instance? I could just say world-face repository. No, wait a moment. Understood. I'll relegate the task to a later date. Okay. Yes. Okay, I've uploaded the current world-face so far. Load game. Shall I abandon the current timeline and reload the last save state? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Saved state here. Yes, you must retrace your steps. No, hold on. Fair enough, I'll see if I can make headway with what I have as of now. Or, yes, abandoning timeline, reloading last save state of current world phase. So I'm trying to make it more interesting sounding than just like save game. It's like, I mean like just, do I want to save the game? Do I want to load a game? I mean, like, it could be a little bit more like, oh, I don't know. In universe, there's a explanation for why this character is able to like save the game or load the game. A little bit more than just like you're in a game and you can save. I want to do something about this, because often... Oh. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Message at top. Yeah, I wanted to do something to just make it so that the text doesn't display over the, like over the location indication. There we go. That's, yeah, that would be better. Okay. Wait. Message. Cool. All right. That should do. Lachi says, I think it's cool that you're incorporating it into the theme. Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to, yeah, ideally make it interesting or kind of work. Excellent. Okay, so shall I abandon? Yes, you must. No, hold on. Yes, post haste. No, wait a moment. Yes, no, resting. Okay. Something I never did is choices like this, they don't, like, they're really close to the borders of the buttons, and I don't like that. Oh, that's also a problem. You shouldn't be able to open the options thing during a text choice. It shouldn't even be showing. I don't even know why it is. The inventory doesn't do that. Okay. More things to fix. Okay. Interaction NPC. Okay, yeah. This is what's missing. This needs to be here. Process. Yeah, so I want to fix this to give a little bit more room when there's choices. I'm not quite sure how to do that, actually, because in practice... Let's see. Oh, it's just this choice container. I was like, where is it? Okay. In practice, I'm not sure how to basically make them more... Oh, wait. Well, let me see. Hold on. So, message window. It's right there. Choice container. Okay. Add child. Text equals choice. Choice data pin. New choice. Add child. Okay, so choice is then just a button, essentially. Can I give a little bit more margin? No. I know that there must be a way to, like... I know there is a way to make this longer, essentially, but I'm just not quite sure how. I don't quite remember how. I know that giving more of a margin... Oh. What the heck? Yeah, it didn't really change anything. So maybe I can make the margin larger? Or does the margin automatically update? I'm wondering, like, why... I'm wondering why, like, what makes the size what it is, I guess is the question. I guess it must be this, right? The choice container is going to size as necessary. Because it's centered. Okay, so then let's do this. Let me see something. Print choice container dot margin left. Choice container dot... Oh wait, I don't have to do that actually. I just remembered. But I can do something like this. If I go ahead and play this... Okay. So if I go to remote, go to GUI, go to choice container, then the margin left is -53. Okay. It doesn't seem like this is really doing much. Alright, that pushed it over to the left. What if I change the margin to right? Yeah, they didn't really do anything. -200. Okay, that helped. Okay, so I could do something like that maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just give it more room, because that way it's just not as likely to be a problem, I guess you could say. The size, we're going to make it maybe 160. Maybe just 180. That might be good. It gives a little bit more room. Did anyone? I don't know if anyone noticed. It does, yeah. The table looks to. It faces you. The table faces you. Good table. Oh. It's like sliding. Like, oh, hello, hi, hey, hi, sup. Everything does that. I forgot. Wow, okay, I gotta fix that. Like, everything's an NPC, yeah. But not everything needs to flip. I did that mainly for like characters. Like, you know, people who need to be able to turn. So what I'm gonna do for that, I just completely forgot that there's NPCs that don't flip. When I implemented it, I was like, yeah, everything needs to flip, right? Okay, this might work. Alright, I'm gonna make a boolean that basically says whether it should turn around, and just assign that on the NPCs that actually need to do so. Actually, face to interact would be better. Cool. Now we can close this, go back to I can't remember the scene I was just at. Where was I? Inside Mansion. I couldn't remember the name of it. I was like, what? Where is it? Okay. Turn face to interact. Okay, cool. So that can be off on everything but NPCs that actually need to turn around, like people. Runson Alexander says, but if it don't flip, put your hand on the hip and dip. What's up? Man, Runson, what you doing in my chat, bro? This is somebody who I actually know. This is someone who knows me on a fundamental level. Runson, how you doing, man? Oh, this is ridiculous. Okay. Alright. Oh my goodness, we got Runson in the chat. This is ridiculous. I don't even know what to do. Oh man, you can't even see my face or anything because my camera is like, my phone gets too hot. Like when I have my camera like on, so you can't see my face or anything at this point, which is unfortunate because I'm just grinning like an idiot. Oh man. Okay. All right. It's cool. All right. So facing to interact, that should work. We just need to actually assign that to things that need to face you when you interact with them. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the apartment because that's specifically why I made it for these two characters, because they are actual people. So this face to interact, yes, and then workout woman, face to interact, yes. Cool. Okay. Excellent, excellent. Okay, cool. So this is actually working, which is nice. It's very nice. Yeah, cool. All right, so that's solid. Solid content. Excellent. So we're going to commit this because it's basically a solid place to commit. Lachi says, any plans for Halloween? Nope. Absolutely not. I do not celebrate that that mess. That's garbage, bro. Nah, yeah, I have no plans for Halloween, not at all. Let's see. Okay, so NPCs can't all face to interact the player. This is a fix. Okay. Adding bling for this. We're also on apartment. Let's see. Levels. Fix options. Let's see. Options display. Fix. Okay, options display should not be visible when interacting. Cool. Okay, that should basically do it. Oh yeah. Adding agents. Cool. All right, so that covers basically everything we did. Next, let me take a look at my task board because I think that's basically most of it before we get to an MVP. Is savings done, loading, whoops, is done, quit is done, sound and music is done. Something I wanted to actually add as an option was like noise, disabling the noise. Yeah, because if you look at the game, there's like a visual noise over the entire game. It's kind of like soft, but there's a noise texture over the game that just gives it a little bit of like texture. It gives it a little bit of like feeling. You should probably be able to disable that. So I'm probably gonna add maybe a checkbox for that down here. Maybe this will be higher. Yeah. That should be good. Let's do that then. All right. Checkbox. Okay, so that's going to be actually in Godot. In the GUI, we have save, load, quit. Options display. Okay. There we go. I don't think there is a checkbox. Oh, there is a checkbox. Okay. What is... is this supposed to display something? Oh. Oh, I see. I know why he's doing this. I need to go to the theme. I need to put a theme. Oh, so I already got the theme. I need to edit it. For checkbox, the font color should be white. Okay. Oh, do I need a font too? There we go. Okay. All right, so I'll need a checkbox too. I'm not sure why this is a button in the background. I don't get that. Like, you already have checkbox. Why do you have a button too? I don't quite understand, but okay. Oh, maybe it's because of these styles. Maybe that's why. No, wait. Yeah, I'm not sure why there's a checkbox. Logi says the button is for the mouse events to detect when you click on the checkbox, I guess. I mean, but the checkbox is the button. Like, I don't get why you have a button and a checkbox. Like, the checkbox shouldn't even, like, have a button behind it. It should just be basically the checkbox and then, like, maybe a label, but even that is, like, up to you. Like, you could create that yourself. You don't really need to have the label too, but I understand that. I don't get the button in the background. I guess that must be my theme. It must be part of my theme, I guess. Yeah, okay. It must be somehow. Not sure how, but it's gotta be. Okay, so we might have to change things around a little bit, because this isn't a very good look. Okay, we're gonna have to make textures for this too, so let's break out Aseprite. Oops. Well, let me think. Probably this is actually okay. That kind of works a little bit. Oh wait. Alright, that should be a good start. Okay. Alright, let's see. I might be able to just make this flat, perhaps. Maybe that'll work. Let's just go for that for now. Alright, so I think what I'm probably going to do is maybe have this I gotta think about this a little bit more. I think okay. Anon says, finally caught one of these streams, love what you're doing. Hey, thank you. Thank you very much for stopping by, and always always a pleasure to have people stopping in the chat and watching my little projects. Let's see. So today, right now, what I'm trying to do is make a custom style for this checkbox so that it actually looks a little presentable. That's the end goal, if possible. Let's see. So what we want to do for that is we want to edit the theme that we have. Okay. I'm not sure if this will affect what's behind this, but we'll see. Don Duval says, do you make games full-time, or is this a side hustle of yours? It's essentially full-time. Well, it is full-time, yeah. This is what I'm doing primarily for work. And it's going okay. It's going okay. Since, I mean, MasterPlan's almost done, almost to be put out to the masses as an early access kind of thing. It's not going to be completely done. But then also this is coming along pretty well as well. So yeah, it's going okay. That's weird. And this... Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is it. Alright, got it. So for this, what I think would be cool is if there was an underline, but nothing else. Not sure if I can... Okay, I should be able to do that. Yeah. There we go. Just like that. Actually, let's do this. Delete. Button. Unfocus. Duplicate. Checkbox. Unfocused. Alright, I think that should be good. Let's try that. Lachi says, I'm hyped for MasterPlan. Excellent. Always good to hear people are... There it goes. Always good to hear people are hyped. Oops. For MasterPlan. No. Well, this is fine. I ended up restarting the game. That's fine. Always good to hear... that's jank. I know why it's doing that, though. I think I know why it's doing that. Lachi says, finally a solution for our sticky note conundrum. And Sykes is also hyped for MasterPlan. Excellent to hear. Because it feels like it's a different kind of tool that should be a lot of fun to use, and hopefully generally useful for kind of relegating thoughts, kind of collecting thoughts more easily than like sticky notes or Excel spreadsheets or something like that. Let's see. Okay, so this is actually working. It's just a matter of specifying the right theme styles, I believe. Yeah, these two, hover and pressed. Okay, so focus if... Nah, just unfocus. There we go. Well, she says we have an entire wall of sticky notes at the game company I work for. Well, until our office was flooded, destroying them. Oh, that's no fun. Okay. Yo. Nice. Cool. Alright, well that's definitely working as well as I kind of was hoping it would. This is going to be the visual noise checkbox. Does that all fit? But yeah, that's unfortunate. But at the same time, that's kind of, you know, one of the good things. Okay, cool, it all fits. One of the good things about my tool is that, you know, a digital approach is that you can always version control it, you can always back it up. Whereas, you know, physical things can be destroyed sometimes, which is a shame. But this is definitely shaping up. Visual noise. Okay, cool. So that's working. The only thing is if you press up, it skips over to the options button, which is not what we want. So let's go back over here to the options display, and I think I implement this. Yeah, okay, cool. So what we want to do is we just want to manually set the neighbor. Here we go. Neighbor top to be the music volume slider. Neighbor top. Music volume slider. And I think this automatically goes down to visual noise, but we'll set... Well, we don't have to do that. It should work automatically. There we go. Cool. Cool. Okay. So that's exactly as we want it. Next thing I want to do is actually tie that together. So we'll say noise get node. This is the options display. / noise .visible equals. Well, yeah, this is pretty simple. We don't want to make a whole nother function for this, I don't think. Options box container / visual noise checkbox dot. Pressed. Okay. So that should basically allow us to turn off the noise by pressing that checkbox. Lachi says, do you have any good tutorials for Go? I am pretty well knowledgeable in C-like languages and OOP programming, but want to learn the syntax and design of Go. Oh, wait. Yo, okay, cool, it's working. Nice. Let's default that to being on, because that's the way that I'm designing the game. There we go. And then we just have to save it. As for the object-oriented approach to programming with Go, it's a little bit different, but it's not really that hard. I think I always point people to stuff like Go by example, or what else? I think GoBot. No, not GoBot. There's different like Golang tutorials that I would recommend. Learn X and Y minutes. They have a good Go section. Yeah, so there's a couple good tools here. This one is good. This is, whoops. Alright, that's fine. No, go, why? Go in there. Go on here. Thank you. Jeez. Alright. So, there's a couple of different ways to do object-oriented programming, kind of. I mean, basically in Go, you're going to be using structs, and you're going to be using methods for those structs, and that's basically how you do it, and then interfaces. So the general idea is a struct is basically just a collection of data. So in this example, you're just declaring a person to be a struct. It's got a name, which is a string, and an age, which is an integer. You have a function that returns a pointer to that struct, and then that's basically how you create an object essentially. You can also just return the struct itself, but then two structs that have the same values would be the same, so you wouldn't be able to test for equality. So for example, if you have a person named Bob who's 30, and you have a different person named Bob who's 30, it would be like, yeah, these are two, they're both equal, but really those are two different people, so you want to use pointers. And then after that is really straightforward. After that, you have methods, which basically are functions that essentially they only exist on the struct. So in this example, you have a rect, which is a rectangle. It's got a width and a height. And then area and perimeter are functions that are defined to basically run on the rectangle. So you can just access the rectangle's values or other functions just by putting this there or this there. This one is basically saying that it's as this says, it's a method that has a receiver type of a pointer to a rect, or you can also have a value receiver. Basically, if you're making games, you generally want to use a pointer to the as the receiver, because that way the data won't be copied into the function, as I recall. Yeah, here we go. You may want to use a pointer receiver type to avoid copying on method calls, or to allow the method to mutate the receiving struct. Lachi says, oh, so you don't define the method in the struct. No, you don't generally, although you can use function pointers in Go. So you could, for example, make a struct. I'll actually type this out as an example. Let me open up a new window. All right, so let's say we had, well, let's do this, hold on. Okay, so let's say we had something, we'll just go to main so we know that we're working with like Go here. So let's say we had a struct, right? Let's say we had a player, so we say type player is a struct, right? And so there's a couple of different ways to approach this kind of concept of object-oriented programming. Generally, you wouldn't like approach it as a like, what's the word, traditional inheritance approach, but rather kind of composing your structs using values for the data, and then also you can embed structs in each other to give them kind of the same properties and the same functions. So let's say we have a player, right, and he has a position, we'll say just the x and y. X is an int, y is also an int, so we'll just do like that. And then we say, okay, well, we want to have a function that says, oh, move the player, make the player jump, we'll say, right? So you say func, we'll just say player, and we're going to take a pointer to the player and say jump. And we're going to say, we print out a message that says the player jumped, right? Cool. Now, if you define a player anywhere, and sorry if this is lagging, I have this and the other. Let me close the other one because that's not helping. There we go. And I guess close these as well. But yeah, I would recommend Go by example and learn X and Y minutes, their Go page. Both of those are really good. So you say, okay, I want to make a new player. So we say player : equals player. So you can do something like this to like make a pointer to the, player struct. But generally, you probably would want a function for that. Just make it easier. So you can say new player, and that just returns player. Right? So you would have something like this. So this basically says, okay, we have a function that we can call from anywhere, basically, that can see this function, that creates a new player variable and returns it. And it's a pointer to the player variable. And so instead of doing this ourselves, you can just call new player. And that's generally good because this basically serves as a constructor. So you can basically say, Is this gonna update? What was that? It like ate my key presses. New player. There we go. So you have this basically that serves as a constructor. So it allows you to say, oh, we want to create a new player variable and initialize its values. So we say, you know, x is, let's say, 200, y is, let's say, 100, something like that. Zyke says new type functs are basically constructors without an explicit constructor concept. Yeah, I kind of prefer this because basically there's not a lot of extra cruft. Like, you don't have the concept of destructors or constructors. You just basically make the stuff that you need to make present as you make it. Lachi says, and it's a managed language, right? So garbage collection. Yeah, it's managed. And yeah, it has a garbage collection. You just basically free your references to your objects, and then they'll be collected by the cleaned up by the garbage collection eventually. Lachi says it's interesting to see pointers in a managed language. Yeah, I think Java also does the same thing. Yeah, it's managed. And then it also has pointers. Everything basically is an object in Java. But this is a little simpler. Now, as this example kind of shows, let's say that you also wanted, let's say, a different animal or a different being in your game. Let's say we had something like a Goomba, right? So it has an X and a Y as well. Man, I apologize for the speed. I don't know why it's so slow. Is there anything else I'm running, or let me close tiled? Because it's just like running really slow, and I'm not sure why. Because I'm not really doing that much. That's basically everything else. I can close. Yeah, that is not helping. Anyway. Okay, so to avoid copyright, we're going to call him a Goomb and not a Goomba. So basically, like, you can have this, I'm going to cut this short a little bit. But basically, you can have a similar kind of structure, but you say, okay, we want to kind of share some data between these guys, or well, let's get, as an example, let's say there's the way that a player can interact with a Goomba or another player is the same, right? Like, you might want to say, okay, bump into a Goomba, bump into the player. Either way, the same thing happens, let's say. In which case, you don't want to, for example, have to pass in, like, oh, is this a Goomba? Is this a player? Etc., etc. So generally, for kind of generalizing things, you would use an interface. So an interface is basically something that says this this thing is a, basically, if you define something to take an object of an interface, whatever it is has to adhere to the data within the interface. So in this example, let's say we have something like this, where we say it's a, let's say it's a damage dealer, right? So this means that it's an object, and this, I don't know why this all of a sudden started running really slowly. But let's say it's a damage dealer interface, which means that something, basically we want to be able to know we're interacting with some sort of damage dealing object, which means that we want to know, let's say, the position of the object. So we have a function that says it gives us the position, which is, let's say, 2 ints, and how much damage it deals, which let's say is an int. Right? So basically, this allows us to say, no matter what I actually make, as long as it has a position function and a damage function, it's a damage dealer. So that allows you to kind of have like a little bit, almost more control than a traditional, more control than a traditional object-oriented programming design, while also keeping things kind of, what's the word? Not objective, generalized and kind of like implied. So rather than saying like, oh, a Goomb, struct is a damage dealer, you just say, well, as long as I define position and damage on Goomb, it will be taken, whenever I need to add it to have it stand in as a damage dealer, it will be able to do so because it has these two functions. So in other words, it's just kind of a more simpler approach. It's kind of like, see if they allowed you to kind of generalize things and simplify things. Yeah, it's cool. And then also you have the ability to use function pointers like a modern language. So you could theoretically make like a game object class that contains function pointers for, say, update, draw, and creation, and then just put the functions that you want inside of those functions, function pointers. So you could say like, oh, a player isn't, let's say, anything specific like a player struct or anything like that. A player object or a player character is just a game object that has a player create, a player update, and a player draw function. So it's a little bit of a different approach to things. Probably that isn't recommended, but I mean, you could do it. Like I don't really see any reason why that would be an issue, other than you would have issues. Like you wouldn't have a specific struct. It would just be like, oh, this is a generic game object that has a player function, a player update, player draw, player creation, player destruction function. So it'd be interesting. You could definitely do things that way though. Whew. Okay, so that's yeah. Definitely would recommend Go if you are a fan of really simple languages. Like I'm a fan of super simple languages, and Go's really simple. It's like C, but it just has like just a few extra things on top that make things just a lot easier to work with and simpler. And that's why I prefer it, I feel like, to like C or even more complex languages, because it's not a lot to it. It's like everything's a permutation of these kind of core ideas. And so it's just it's easier to kind of get into it and work with it. Whew. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Lachi says, yeah, reading some documentation for a WebSocket library that use channels, and I'm scared now. They're basically an atomic hue. I believe so. I'm not familiar with atomicness, just because I haven't done like networking things in programming. But yeah, I think that you are correct. And like Zyke says, yeah, they're concurrent safe. No mutex required. They block on receive. So yeah, channels are useful because they allow you to basically kind of safely send data between two threads. And that's kind of one of the core things about Go that, you know, really is well done. I feel like in that it was designed to work over the internet, to work with, or not. Well, it's designed, I guess, to work over the internet, but designed to work with multi-threading, so you can easily spawn threads to run on another, or spawn workers essentially to run on other threads and communicate between those using built-in systems, built-in tools. And it's not like super complex where it's like, oh, well, there's an entire other library to deal with, you know, spawning threads and all that stuff. This thing is crunching. I gotta close it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. If you're interested in like WebSockets or networking, there's I believe there's some tutorials on Go by example for that. I think it talks a little bit about Go functions, which is basically spawning threads. Yeah, Go routines, channels, worker pools, atomic counters. So there's quite a bit on gobyexample.com. Definitely would recommend it. All right, so where we left off, let's see, get node noise visible. Okay, so this should be working. We just need to save this data when we save the game. So we want to head over to globals. When we save data, we want to save also this. Options display. Lachi says, oh, receiving is blocking. Okay, that makes sense. I was going to say. if I understand you, you're thinking like when you send data, like if the other party isn't ready to receive, like your system freezes, like the program freezes. Yeah, receiving is blocking. Receiving is blocking. So I feel like it's just really simply designed. Like they designed it really kind of to the point. It feels like, I guess the best way to describe it is C designed in 2007 or whatever it is, 2010, like as opposed to back in 1980. Like it feels like what are the problems that we need for a low-level programming language, and they kind of designed it to fix those problems, like concurrency, threading, easy networking, kind of that kind of stuff. Okay. All right, so that should work. Let's go ahead and see if we can save and load this properly. Nope, didn't work. Let's see. Is that because it couldn't find it? Oh, I said value. It's supposed to be press. Nice. Exactly what we want. Cool. I'm kind of wondering if like a fisheye effect would be cool, because that kind of would be an interesting kind of effect to have in a game like this, where it's kind of like you're kind of looking on the world, and so it's a overhead view. It's a fisheye effect. I feel like that would be kind of a cool look. Muyuado Game says, "Hello, Solar. I've missed you so much." Hello, welcome back, or I guess welcome because I've been gone. So yeah, we have a nice little shiny options menu, which is looking pretty cool. Working with keyboard and mouse, excellent as usual, or turning out pretty good, I think. Nice. What else? Actually, I guess a couple of things I'd like to do is darken this slider, and then make this text darker when unselected. Muyuado says, "Have you had a lot of work during the season?" I've been working mainly on this stuff. Some other things have come up where I kind of got a little sick and some other things, but yeah, I've been working pretty hard. Bachi says, "Why does the Go function not print the line?" It's possible if you just put that in like a main function, it's possible that the main function ended before the Go function could run. Basically, in this example, I'm not sure if this is what you did, but if you did something like this, then like this ends before the second thread could spawn, and so it won't print. That might be it. Yeah, Zykes, exactly. He got the same thought as me. All right, let's see. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is this is saving. That's, oh yeah, the fisheye effect. Well, let me actually check this stuff in before I do. Oh wait, that's right. I still wanted to actually fix this a little bit. So the styles for the checkbox when unfocused. Oh. Wait. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, I had to do it here. Alright, so font color, disabled, hover, pressed. Okay, so font color, we're going to go with the darker font then. Something like that. Actually, let's just copy this. Help. And then also there was something else that I was gonna do. No, I don't remember what it was. Cool. All right, that's working. That's working. That's working. Wait, no, it's not. This is supposed to be darker. Why isn't it darker? I'm not using anything special. Okay, so it's just using the theme. Lotch's got somewhere to go. All right, thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to have people coming through in the chat. Thanks. Okay, so visual noise, save, load, quit, sound, music, visual noise. Okay, cool. All right, so this is shaping up. I'll have to consider a fisheye view. I think I tried that before and it didn't quite work, but it might be good to add as an option. So I'll make a note of that in MasterPlan. Let's see. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna commit this because I'm not sure about the rest of the stuff. Oh wait, I still never found out about why this text color isn't correct because I'm setting the color for the checkbox. Is that not what this is? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Didn't I change the color of this before? I could have sworn I changed the color of this this text, I thought. What? Okay. What? Alright, let's do this. Let's go ahead and fix this as best as we can. Maybe it's because it was pressed. I guess that's what it was. It was pressed, and so the text changes color and turns white, which I guess that's fine. I guess I was considering, thinking, oh, I'll just do it like that. Okay, that's probably what I wanted. Is it only is white if you're basically, wait. There we go. It's only white if you're hovering over it, if it's focused. Maybe that'll work. Let's see. Mariano Sugoi says, hi, hello, welcome. And it says to look for the focus color. I think the focus color is, I think that's what I wanted. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted, exactly. Okay, so that the text turns lighter when you're hovering over it. Okay, that's, yeah, okay. So I want that and this to be white, I think. I'll just set them all to be white, whatever. I don't know. I think it's a little strange the way it works. Yeah, if it's already pressed, then it won't highlight if you're not focused on it. Or is it this one? Like if you're hovering over it and you're not pressing it, it should be white. If you're hovering over it and it's pressed, it should be white. If you're not hovering over it, it shouldn't be white. Maybe that's what I want. Like that. Let's try that. That might be what I'm looking for, actually. Nope. Because if it's pressed and I'm hovering, it's not... Wait. Hovering, pressed. What? So if I'm hovering over it, or I'm hovering over it and it's pressed, hovering over it, hover pressed. Why does it get darker if hover pressed is... It's not a big deal. I'll just do something like that, I guess. That's fine. Okay, cool. And I still have room for one more option if I ever wanted to add it. Excellent. Alright, so that's basically it. Yeah. Okay, so for the MVP, we want to basically be able to finish the game. So that involves making a win screen and giving basically a character items. So let's go ahead and go to the basement because I never actually implemented the character. So basement, stairwell, down here, leads to down here, in here. And I have a character sprite for this guy, so we'll make a child scene. I don't think I have one for him. I need some more music. I've been listening to this for like a mile and a half of time. Like I've been just like grinding on this song. Let me see if I can find something else. Laxter YT says, "Are you using GDScript?" Yep. That's cool. Oh, his name was Terry. Whoops. I think I prefer Jason. Oh wait, I'm supposed to do this inside Godot. Yeah, so apparently whenever you make any changes, you want to rename stuff like from inside the editor so that it knows that you did it. Lachi says, "I'm back. Short meeting." Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay. Where is my textures? What am I? Hold on. What? Oh, this is Go. I was like, what in the world is going on? All right. Wow. Okay, Godot. Oh, man. IKWIA assets. Here we go. Textures. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, hold up. Zyke says, "Stream suddenly got super choppy for me. Computer having a hissy fit. Stream down." Yeah. Someone microwaving it again? Yep, probably so. I'm going to guess that someone's microwaving again. Sorry, everybody. Oh, man. I got to look up, like, what causes the just sudden drop where it's just like, oh, hey, someone's microwaving. All wireless waves die. I'm not sure what, like, well, I guess it's just radiation. I guess it's just disturbance in the air. I'm not sure. All right, I renamed it. That's right. That's right. Let's close this. All right, so there's Jason. Cool. I'm not gonna do much actually now that I think about it in terms of like refining this, because the whole point is that it's supposed to be a minimum viable product. So we're supposed to just basically get this to be as close to done as possible, as quickly as possible. Lachi says, Unity has the same issue with moving files because it has to move the metadata files with it, which tell it what the unique ID of the file is, which is first generated by the file path. Yeah, kind of figured as much. Yeah, it's useful to move stuff within, or rename stuff within within Unity or Godot. Lachi says his YouTube is lagging behind. Are you like right at the edge, right at the front of the video, of the stream? I guess that's kind of a stupid question to ask, but it might have like, when it was lagging, it might have like kicked you back a little bit. I don't know. Because it seems like it's pretty much on time. Yeah, not too far behind, maybe 10 seconds. At least from what I'm seeing on my side. Alright, so we want to make an event file for under dimension. Alright, so that's this is as basic as it gets. Let's see. Cool. Nice. So that definitely seems to be working. It seems to be working. Okay, so that's, yeah, it's working fine. So now what we want to do is basically make it so that you can bring things to this guy and give them to him. Now, the items themselves, I don't really, I guess, need to be too specific with. I guess they could just be like item 1, item 2, item 3. But where they should be, I guess, also doesn't matter too much. I guess we'll just implement them for now. Alright, let's do this. We'll just say add item. Item 1, add item 2, add item 3. I think I can do that. I'm not sure. Let's see. Cool. So I'm going to then load the inventory. Cool. It's the first item, it's the second item, it's the third item. Cool. Now I want to be able to make it so that you can actually give them to him by standing here and pressing, you know, the button to give it to him. And the way that I implemented this is basically in Godot you can let me. What am I looking for? Jason. There we go. The way I implemented this is basically I implemented like an ability to tell if you're touching an area. So that's what I'm going to do here. Is make an area 2D. Give it a collision shape. and that's going to be a rectangle. It should be probably like 8 by 8, and then move that there. Actually, it should probably be smaller. Yeah, that should be fine. Laxter says, so what's the pros, or what's the reason for using Visual Studio Code instead of just Godot alone? I find the code editor is lacking things. It's not bad. It's just it's not perfect. One thing is that you can't open like non-knowable file types in Godot. Like if I say, oh, I have a JSON file, I can't open it. If I say I have a text file, I can't open it. If I say I have a, in this case, these are just text files, but they are named .events. I can't look at those in Godot. It doesn't recognize them. So that's one reason why I use an external editor. Another reason is the external editor tends to be a little bit more like smart when it comes to autocomplete, I think. Like if I type in globals dot, wait, hold on. Did it actually? Okay, it does know some things. It does know some things. It does know like what's in there. Yeah, this does not in comparison. Oh, I'm in globals. That might be why. Let's see. Nah, yeah, this doesn't know anything about as much about autocomplete, which isn't as good. But at the same time, I think it can more easily do things like take you to locations. No, actually, this does it. Okay, so this is pretty good. In some cases, it's pretty good. In others, it's not as good. I'm more used to the controls and the like shortcuts in VS Code, and so I just prefer VS Code. But Godot's script editor does have some nice features in it already, so I might end up using that at some point. But for now, I'm using the code editor in the Visual Studio Code editor. Okay, so at this stage, what we're gonna do. Go. We should be able to go over here to inventory.events and say it's first item if touching. So select and dimension layer touching JSON area choice if JSON the item. Yes, it is his. Yes. No. He has no right. Give no. Okay. So this should give a pretty good, this should work, hopefully. Lachi says, VS is dank money, dope 360 swag. I guess VS Code is decent too. I don't know. VS Code is pretty good. I like it. It's not perfect, but it's really good, I think, for what it is. I think Godot's text script editor is pretty good. There was a couple problems with it I just couldn't really get over. I don't remember what those were now, so I might revisit this and try it again and see. I remember that there were things that I kind of was grinding up against, like whenever I would write code, was a couple of things that were just like, no, this isn't working quite as good as it could. This isn't quite as nice as it could be. But I guess the main things were, yeah, that it doesn't detect the files I'm using. So, and I'm not aware of any way to basically like add files to the file filter. So anyway, just one of those things. All right, so this should give us the ability to. Yes, I have relayed the item to JSON. Remove item. So this should give us the overall effect. Set flag. Item to JSON 1. This should give us the overall effect that we're looking for of basically allowing us to give things to Jason. That's basically what this game is about, is giving things to Jason. Okay. Alright, I accidentally got multiple items, but that's fine. It's the first item. Did not detect that I was standing there. Okay. Well. It couldn't find player. Player. Yeah, that should definitely be able to select player, unless it's... It should be relative to the brain, I thought. I thought this is how it works. Let's see. Yeah. Up, player. Up. Transport. Yeah. Up, player. Okay, so yeah, that definitely should be work... Wait. Is it because of the quotes? It might be because of the quotes. If so, I gotta fix that, because sometimes you'll have spaces. Let me see. No? Okay, it still wasn't able to find the player. It definitely should be able to. Node was not found. Let me go ahead and see if I can find it. Select. Okay, so player null. Ronson says, bro, this is looking good. Bob Rossen on this game. Have you finished any music for the game? Yeah, Ronson, I have. Lachi says, yeah, we're missing chill grooves. How can this be a SolarLune stream without chill grooves? Okay. Alright. Let me see if I can bring up some chiptune bangers. Okay, so this is... I played this, I think, during my... like, during the start. I don't know if you heard it, Runson, specifically. But I played this during the... I think when I was, like, just starting the stream. This is like, I imagine if you go to like a specific area in the game, it's going to be like a homeless shelter kind of area with a lot of homeless people. And so I was like, I made this song and it came out more groovy and bangerish than necessary. But at the same time, like, I'm totally going to use it for that purpose. Alright, here we go. Oh, this entire time my music was off. I thought... That's weird. I thought I enabled it. Okay, well, maybe I turned it off at some point. Whoops. There was music. There was totally music playing this entire time for like 2 hours, and no one heard it. Oh well. And so basically, it's just like groove, maximum groove on that one. Just like as much groove as possibly could be. This is at the beginning. Is this it? Yeah, I think this is the beginning of the game, roughly at the title screen, and possibly toward the end. And so it's just that little clip, but it's sad. Like it's sad, but it's got a beat, and it's good. I like it. I think that it does its job pretty successfully. So I'm happy with that one. This one isn't like really in the style of the rest, but I'm gonna put it in here maybe. And so something like that is essentially what I'm working with for that song, which is that one's good. It's just it doesn't really match with the rest of the it's not the style of the rest, but it's still like it's good. I like it. This is something I was working on today, yesterday, I guess. So it's a long way to go, but it's definitely like given solid Donkey Kong Country like just vibes. SNES vibes. He said dope 115 ticket back. Alright. Alright, let's one more time. Oh, Gavzilla 1000 says, what tracker is that? Never seen it before. It's SunVox. Very good tracker. Highly recommend it. It's solid, like really good. And so it's just it's just stuff like that. It's just bangers, nothing but bangers. Let's see. This is not related to the game. This is just a different banger that I'm working on. Let's see. It's in here. Basically, it's like, imagine that like the year is like the 1300s. It's like during the Black Plague. You got like a plague doctor is like the main character. He gets transported through time to like the year 2600, where like a global corporation has taken over like an entire nation, and you have to like resolve who killed somebody to return home. That's basically this like quasi future like cyberpunk banger, I guess. So that's just like a future dark jazzy banger. I don't know. And then let's see. There's other tracks that I've been working on too. This is, I wanted to show this like later when it's more done, but this is let's see if anyone. Oh man, I don't even know, what to say. Hold on. So that's like, that is something different. That's definitely different. Ah. Oh, whoops! I pressed the button. Sorry about that. press the keyboard. Anyway, I'm still making bangers. They're still getting made. They're getting better, and I'm happy with them. Like slowly but surely, they get to where they're up there. Yeah, so I have quite a few tracks done for I Know Who I Am, and I have so many tracks that I haven't used before that, like, if I ever wanted to, I can just pick something out of somewhere else and put it into I Know Who I Am, which is fine. Yeah, so where are we at? What else? So yeah, lots of music. I get like requests or little messages like, hey, if you need music for your games, hit me up. And it's like, yeah, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay for now. Like, I think I'm okay for now. Like, I'd like to at least keep working on music myself, just to be better at it, even if it's not at the level that it could be. But I think it's solid. Runson is dying in chat. Max Ditting says, holy cow, I joined the stream for 2 seconds, and I'm greeted with a masterpiece banger. Everyone, yeah, thank you very much for hearing my music. Lachi says, Runson says, where do you get the vocals from? That's from Iris, by the Google Dolls. So it's something. That's a really good song. It's a classic, soft alternative rock song from like 2000. Yeah, so definitely gonna finish that or do something with that, and then I have a whole bunch of other tracks that I need to do something with, like these. What else? Yeah, so anyway, I'm not gonna take up too much time. I don't want to just have a stream where I just play my music, although that might be a good idea at some point. Maybe I could just step through the SolarLune library that is the project folders and just listen to everything a little bit at a time, because there's quite a bit of songs that I made over the years. Whew. Anyway, thanks for listening. Yeah, so let's see. That's right, I was in the middle of solving this issue with the game where it's not finding the node that it should. So let me go ahead and put the music back on, and yeah, get back to it. let's see. Okay, so I just have to figure out why this isn't working. Oh. Totally didn't think about this. Totally didn't think about it. But basically, the problem is that I'm calling this from an NPC that's not in the game. It's an inventory item, so it can't select the player like that. Okay, it just has to select him like this. There we go. Cool. Oops. Alright, so that should help. Give one yes. Cool. Alright, so this is basically the same thing for each of these. 3 yes. Give no. Give 2 yes. 3 yes. Item 2, item 3, gave item 3 to Jason, gave item 2 to Jason. Second item, first item. Okay. So this is basically done. Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. So this is working. It's the first item, give it to him. Yes, it is his. I have relayed the first item to Jason. Boom. No more item 1. Item 2, yes. Item 3, yes. Cool. Alright, and then, yeah. I think that's working correctly. Item 3, item 2, item 1. Okay, cool. 2, 3. Alright, now what we want to do is basically check the flags to see if gave item 1 is little 1. Okay, something like that should work. And then... Cool. So that's basically the in state, I guess you could say. Oh, whoops, I didn't do that right. It's this. Follow up. Boom. Cool. Cool. Done. That's basically the game. I mean, essentially, I need an actual win screen, but you can give him items, and that's it. That's it. So, cool. Banger time. Let's go. that's basically it. That's basically it. I need to make more of it. I need to make more content in it. But that's basically that's the banger. That's the banger. Excellent. All right, I'm gonna follow it up with another banger. I don't really have any other bangers of this quality. Yeah, I don't really have any other bangers of this quality quite, but I still have something I could share. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is, I don't know if Runson's still there. If he is, you might, I'm not sure if Runson's still there. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, if Runson's still there, he would recognize this one. Yeah. These songs in this folder were specifically made for an album that my brother made called Crenshaw Boulevard, and so these were like video game remixes for that album. So like they're based off of real songs. That's why they don't sound like me in terms of like my chord progressions and stuff, because Tim's on another level when it comes to that stuff. So that's why like you've never heard about this, like heard these songs. I've never put them out, and also why they sound so different. But this is also a different remix of the previous song as well, which is Domino Table. Daniel Gomes says, it was great, man. Thank you very much. And this is a couple of songs I was working on too. This is really short, but it sounds pretty cool. So I'll just play what I have of it so far. That's cool. And then this is the last song I'm gonna play, which is a stupid song that just like it started off stupid and it just kind of became solid over time. So yeah, I'm gonna play it real quick. So that's basically it. So yeah, that's just kind of an also video game banger. And so there's I have to make some stuff and release some stuff because there's quite a few. Daniel Gomes says it's the same theme from the other one. I'm not sure which other one you're referring to. It might be similar sounding though. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to listen to maybe these 5 or 6 just to see, like, maybe you're referring to something in that set. Because ideally I don't want to make songs that sound too much like me. Like I want songs that sound like me, but also like the chord progressions aren't all like, you know, C D E C, D C D E D or something like that, where it's just like super, super like kind of hackneyed. Oh wait, I forgot, that's super loud. Sorry. But yeah, hopefully I can kind of work on my stuff and get better, and keep working on it and get even better. Anyway, I managed to get quite a bit done today, which is cool. Not too much stuff with MasterPlan this time around. Well, nothing with MasterPlan, and mainly just working on I Know Who I Am, which is always fun. And managed to get quite a bit looking and feeling and working better. So that's good. So hopefully by the next time around, it'll be even better, and we'll be closer and closer to being done, so that people can test it out and try it and give me some feedback. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. It's been real. I've been SolarLune. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. If not, that's okay. No. Nah, it's fine. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side next time around as I make something else, hopefully, or keep making this. Thank you very much, Daniel, Lachi, all the people in chat for coming through. Definitely well appreciated. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side next time. Thanks. See ya.